Thank you once again for another amazing edition of Pixels Pulse. This is Pixels Pulse episode 2, or what you can call Pixels Pulse 2.0. Thank you so much for joining this amazing session. Pixels Pulse is an online design session or online design live session where we train creative and tech professionals who have passions for designs, or creative professionals and enthusiasts who have passion for designs, various concepts, or where we have 100% practical sessions design-wise to help creative and tech professional hone their design skills or level up their design skills from whichever level they are to the next level. One thing that makes this session very, very interesting is that it is a 100% practical session. Now, what makes it 100% practical is that we don't just teach you or train you. What we do is that we practically share our screens and we do everything in our capacity to ensure that we take it through step-by-step processes in which we open softwares like Photoshop, Adobe Illustrators, and other design softwares, whether vector or bitmap software, and we show you step-by-step ways in which to design. We believe that when designers or design enthusiasts see with their eyes design processes from ideation to what we call execution, and they see the design process of top leading designers, art directors in the field execute various practical processes, it would help you in your idea formation as a designer or an enthusiast, and to help you to be able to bring into realities those ideas you have in your mind into marketable design assets that you can execute, whether on social, whether on billboard, whether on out of homes, or even on digital. So welcome once again to Pixels Pulse. Thank you so much for everybody that is joining right now. One thing I can assure you that in this session of Pixels Pulse, you're going to be learning a whole lot. We have our facilitator who is going to be joining us, and that's Mr. Olamiji, and be taking us through various steps that would help you. My name is Demola Diogo. I am the founder of Ace Creative Academy and also the founder of Ace Creative Community. Ace Creative Community is the community that is powering this amazing design session. Now, one thing I can tell you is that this session is in two folds. Now, in the first session, we're going to be having what we call a conversation. We believe that it's not just all about knowing how to design as creative professionals. You need to know what we call the business of design. You need to know what we call various talking points that will help you in your design skills. So the first part of Pixels Pulse is going to be more conversational, where we drive various conversations on various crucial topics that designers need to help them scale and to develop their skills in the design ecosystem. So for those that are joining us live, thank you so much for joining, and try as much as possible to share the link and get other members to basically join. One thing I can assure you is that this is going to be an amazing session that you are going to really, really, really enjoy. Now, remember what I said? It's a 100% practical session where you will have the opportunity to not just have what we call hands-on practical sessions, where we basically go through various graphic softwares. We also take it a step further, where we have various conversations that will help you in your various creative and tech journey. So thank you so much for those that are watching on YouTube, because once we're done with this live session, we are going to be sharing on various YouTube platforms. This is a practical, 100% practical live session, and beyond it just being 100% practical, any conversations or anything that we have in the any information that is being shared, the link is going to be at the description section. So just share. This particular Pixels Pulse is powered by Ace Creative Community. So if you want to join the community, all you have to do is go through the link in the description section for those watching via YouTube. And for those that are going to be seeing this video in any part of the world, all you have to do is go to acecreativeconnect.com to join the session. So it's going to be an amazing session, and I would like to say once again, thank you so very much for joining. Great to see you, all our community members. Moses, good to see you. I knew get to see you, and I want to assure you that this is going to be an amazing session. Now, before we go on, one of the things I'm going to be discussing in this first session of is Creative Connect Pixels Pulse is that what I'm going to be having a conversation with the creatives in this call or in this live session on what does it take, and you get on track to always what silly do. Now, as a creative professional of over 14 years of experience, one thing I've realized is that what over the years I've been able to hone my skills when it comes to negotiating with clients. And I realized that over time, I've honed the skills to an extent in which most times whenever I go for creatives brief, I always have what we call 80% of positive impact in turning around nailing that brief. Now, how do I mean? In today's topic, we're going to be talking about how do you win a winning negotiation with a client. So meaning that when a client call you as a creative professional, when negotiating with the clients, how do you always ensure that you always get that account or that project? As a creative professional, like I said, over the years, I've realized that I've honed my skills to the extent that most times when I'm on a call, having conversation with the client on how to bring them on board a particular project, or when they're having a discussion with us or with me with respect to the various services that we rendered, I've realized that there's an 80% chance, if not 90, that when the client speaks to me, we are going to get that deal. We are going to get that brief. If we don't get it, it could be probably because of the client cannot afford us, but there's always an 80% chance that when I'm on a call with a client, I always seal the deal. So how do you seal a deal with a client as a creative professional? I'm just going to be sharing some little trade secrets for you that will help you. And the little trade secret is just very simple. And it's just going to be one simple conversation I'm going to share with you. Now, I've realized that most creative professionals, graphic artists, animators, and the likes, whenever they're on a conversation call, pre-brief conversation with a client, and they're trying to seal a particular deal, or they are going to come pitch for a business with a particular organization, or a pitch deck and all that. I've realized that as creative professionals, most times when we're having conversation with our clients, we always focus on the technicality. So the first things I'm going to be teaching us today is don't focus in the technicality. Instead, focus on the winning value proposition that the client is looking for. How do I mean? When we're having conversation with our clients concerning a creative brief, the first thing you need to do is don't focus on the technicality. Focus on what we call a winning strategy that the client needs. What do I mean by that? Before you go into the brief or the meeting, are you getting me now? So let's say the client wants to run a marketing campaign, or the client wants to run a particular marketing engagement. Research the clients. Look at their previous products. Look at what they've done before. Or you could say that, Mr. Demola, what if the client just called me? Ask the client some few questions. That what's the purpose of the branding? What's the purpose of the flyer design? Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Now, when you do that, don't focus on the technicalities of what it takes to execute the brief, but focus on the winning strategy of what the client needs. Whenever a client comes to meet you, the thing that they're trying to find out when they are calling you is that can they trust you? Number one. The client is also saying that when I put my money in this particular person to do this design, to do this animation, to do this website, will I have what we call a peace of mind? Are you getting me now? But most times we focus on the technicality. So let's say, for example, clients reach out to me to do websites. You start using words like the website is going to be responsive. We're going to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Or if a graphic artist starts saying stuff like the brand process is a very technical brand process, we're going to be using vector software. We're going to focus on research, doing market research, blah, blah, blah. The client, most cases, as much as he wants the technicalities, he wants to have what we call a peace of mind. So focus on what we call connection that will result to trust. Because the reason why any client will give you any job is to know that when they give you this job, they have a peace of mind. So that should be your winning strategy. So when I say a winning strategy from the client's point of view, what I mean is that a strategy that would give the client a peace of mind. And how do you achieve this? While having a phone call with the client to understand what the brief is, or if it's a pitch that you're going to go and pitch, do a research for the client or their businesses. Now, when you're selling to them, sell the product or the service you are rendering with based on the advantage it will be for their business. Trust. Are you getting me? So if it's a flyer, focus on the advantage the flyer will be on their business. They don't want to bother whether they're using CorelDRAW or Photoshop. They don't want to bother whether they're using DI printing to print for them. They don't want to bother whether you're using WordPress or you're coding various using HTML, or what payment gateway you're using for them if you're web design. What they want to be sure is that can they trust you with the millions of dollars or naira or thousands of naira they'll be giving you to execute this project. If you can find a point of connection with the client, there's an 80% of chance that you win the project. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So it's not how skilled you are in your skills, but it's how skilled you are in communication. And communication leads to what we call what? Trust. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So in every conversations you have with your clients, when you're trying to win a pitch or negotiate for a brief, focus on what we call what? The trust factor. Now, that's what I call a winning strategy from the client's point of view. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So, for example, if I want to sell this mug to my clients, I don't use words like, well, this mug was crafted from the best ceramic in the world. The U-shape part of the mug was designed so you can hold it. No. Focus on what the benefit the cup is for the client. Do you get me now? And what are those benefits? When the client have this cup and he puts his cup of tea on it, the cup is going to preserve the heat, the heat in the cup, that the tea is going to last for 24 hours. Those are your winning selling points. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So when you're working on what we call what a website for a client, if you're a web designer, focus on, we're going to render to your clients a 3 months worth of maintenance, and we're going to train your clients on how to manage the website. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So whatever product or service you're selling, tune your market strategy or tune the marketing of the conversation of the product and service you're selling to the client from the client's point of view. Do you get me now? We sell things mostly from our point of view, but not what the client's point of view. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So whatever product or services you're rendering to your clients, what are those winning points? What are the unique selling points that would favor the client? Those should be the first point of call. So let's say, for example, clients contact us to do websites for them. I realize that I've sold the benefits of them working with us so much that it's towards the end of the call, I start talking about what the technicalities, and the website will be responsive. It can be viewed across various mobile platforms. We're going to be integrating SSLs. We're going to be using content management system. That's usually the last. But I always focus on the selling points. So if it's an e-commerce, I talk about how the benefit of why the website's e-commerce is to your return on investment. Do you get me now? I talk about the fact of how the website's integration to social media will help their marketing to drive engagement on social media, thereby helping the brand. Do you get what I'm saying right now? We are doing a particular design for the client. You talk about the fact that you're going to do what we call concatenate this design into various views for various social media so the client can work on it. When you're talking about branding, you're talking about the fact of how you are going to share with them the printable version that they can get to their printer to execute for the printing. So for those that are just joining this call, I'm sharing that how do you always win when you go and negotiate with your client? What is that winning strategy? The winning strategy, I repeat again, is trust. When a client is committing 300,000 naira, $1,000 to you, the reason why he's giving you that is an exchange of peace of mind. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So when you're selling the products, the services that you're rendering to your clients, that should always be your point of direction. How do I warm up my negotiating tactics to these clients for the client to be able to trust you. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So that should always be your strategy in negotiation. Over the years, I've tried this and I've realized that when I'm having conversations with clients, there's an between 80 to 90% chance that my company will get that job. Why? Because I focus on what we call what relationship. I focus on what we call what connections. There are times in which sometimes when my team members are handling a brief, we reach a gridlock that the client is not happy. And my team start getting worried and concerned. I always tell them, don't worry. When I call the client, we'll resolve this. And when I call the client, I'll explain the challenges we had so far and the things we are doing to repair it. Why? Because at the beginning, when they wanted to give us the brief, I've created relationship and connection. Do you get what I'm saying right now? Businesses that last, the ability to be able to allow that your clients stay with you for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. I've had clients that have been with us from the beginning of buying insights, is when they know that what when I'm giving Mr. Favor, Mr. John, Mr. Peter 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira, I can go to place with peace of mind. That even if there's any challenges or technicalities with the project, I'm rest assured that what he's doing is best to ensure that he resolves it. So clients trade their finances for peace of mind based on the value proposition you're offering to them on the services that what they want, they are requesting what or requiring what from you. Are you getting me now? So when you are pitching with your clients, what would always make you win? It's one, building a connection, two, building trust. Then number three, in negotiation, always ensure that what it's always a win-win situation. I've seen designers, creative professionals, tech professionals, when they're having conversation, they always want to win, always want to be the one winning. As long as this might work in the context of business, but it doesn't work in long-term relationship building. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So ensure that when you're having the conversation, you have a win, they have a win. Do you get what I'm saying right now? In business, it's not always a one-sided win that the client should take it or leave it, that you don't give a hoot. No, it should be a win-win situation. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So these are strategies in which you can use to build what we call a long-lasting relationship with your clients. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? You can now say that, Mr. Demola, how can I achieve this? How will I be able to do this? We've had cases where the clients come to meet me. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? And they request for these particular services, and when they request for these particular services, the fee we give them might be a little bit high. What I always tell graphic artists, web designers, software developers is that ensure that you create products out of your services, or let me use the word packages. So the problem that we have is that as creative professionals, now these thoughts I'm sharing with you will help you to be able to push on your business for success. Are you getting me now? Always ensure that in your business, your services are rendered in form of packages and products. And each packages and products, are you getting me now, reaches every touching point anybody that calls your business would ever need. Are you getting me now? So if you are offering branding, you should have various packages for your branding. Do you understand? You should have the premium package, which will probably contain a full brand manual, logo, business card designs, mock-up, and other design identity systems. Do you get me now? Then you should have another one, that's the premium package. Then you should have another maybe that could be a gold package or platinum package. Then you should have what we call a silver package and a bronze package. Now, each packages, are you getting me now, should have different pricing. Now, beyond them having different pricing, they should have different deliverables. Now, what this will do for you is that whenever any clients call you for branding, whichever products they need or deliverable they need, it will be found in either of the package. So let's say, for example, the clients call you and you're sharing thoughts on the premium package, and the client says that, oh, I might not need this, I might not need that, or I can't afford your premium package as much as I love your platinum package. You can go and ask now, oh, we offer also this. Why do you think that brands like Microsoft, they have iPhone. They have iPhone 16, iPhone 17, 15, and 13. Why? Because based on your pricing level, you can pick any products that they have. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So, as a creative professional, ensure that what your services are well spelled out. So, the challenge we have is that what you go into a particular brief, and you getting that you negotiate with the client, and at the end of the negotiation, you are supposed to just deliver 3 logos, 1 business card, 1 letterhead. Then the client now says, "But I want to do this. I want to do that. Why don't we do this?" And the client starts changing the goalpost of the service, and you spend another 5, 6 weeks, and you are worn out. No, if the client says, "I want this," you tell him that, "Sir, based on our previous agreement and the package that you chose, this was the cost. If you want this and this, it's going to cost you extra." Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So please ensure that whether a designer, social media management, graphic artist, UI UX professional, ensure that your services are categorized in various packages and various products. Do you understand? So meaning that move your service to package base and product base. All these are very, very important for you. Now in Pixels Pulse, we're going to be sharing other tidbits that will help you. Now realize that it's not just in the skills that matters. We understand that as creative professionals, we should also understand the business of business. So at every Pixels Pulse edition, the first phase, we're going to be talking of things that will help you in your business or business. And one of the major things that I'm sharing right now is how do you win a winning negotiations? So I've been able to touch various touch points on how you can win a winning negotiation. And I shared to you earlier on that as a creative professionals to win a winning negotiations, number one is that you need to ensure that you always have a strategy that will help the client win from his point of view. It's very important. Always have a strategy. And what did I mean? Just recapitulating once again before we go into the practical session. What do I mean by have a winning strategy from the client's point of view? From your services, the various services you render, what are the benefits for the clients? This should be your first selling point, not the technicalities in negotiation. That's number one. Then I also spoke about your product and services should be categorized into various packages. What this would help you is that because each packages or each product has various price points. Are you getting me now? For example, in branding, or if you're a photographer, in photography, such that even if the client cannot afford your premium product, ensure that every other deliverables that anybody will ever need in branding is in the other product and services, so the client can pick it. Recently, one of our clients from the USA just contacted us, and when he reached out to us, he said, "Mr. Demola, I want to design our websites. And one of the things I do is I want to upgrade the website that we have." And I told him that, "Okay, let me see your website." And I saw the website. And by the time I saw the website, now this is the importance of having various services. I realized that the website logo was not world class. And I reached out to him that I know you are reaching out to us to do your website, and we can deliver on this because we got a referral from a very reliable friend of yours. But can we handle your whole brand assets? And I said, "Mr. Demola, this is what I need." And when I sent him the bill, I sent him the bill of our premium branding plus websites. And because he's a digital business, he told me that there are some things in the price list I sent that they don't need, because as much as the business exists in the US, they operate more in the digital space and physical space. And by the time I looked at our various packages, are you getting me now? I was able to fine tune the pricing to meet him, not telling him that you have to pick this price list or else we cannot work with you. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So always ensure that your services has various price range to meet your clientele, and you are doing everything you can to sell to the client from his point of view. Are you getting me now? Like I said earlier on, the reason why the client is giving you 500,000 naira, $1,000, £1,000 is because he wants to have a peace of mind. So when you're having a conversation with your client, connection, trust, the right price list is what will create that peace of mind that would always help you to win in every negotiation and to seal every deal. So, Mr. Rebel, thank you so much for joining. It's good to have you once again online. Thank you so much for always accepting to take this amazing training with us at Ace Creative Connect. Welcome to Pixel Pulse. So, based on our talking points, is there anything you want to add to the conversation I shared earlier, sir?
Okay. I've been listening to what you've been saying, and almost everything is the fact and the truth about it. I used to say one thing about dealing with clients, that it is not just about how good you are. I think I had a discussion earlier this week with someone stating that I have some people that are really better than me, and that I'm always better than, but they're earning more than I do. So I realized that it is not just about how good I am, how far I'm good with Photoshop, how far I can do manipulations, or how far I can do a great design. But that's not what is really important. But how far can I solve clients' problem? How far do I see myself in their shoes? How far can I be emotionally and what's available to them, so that they also can feel they can feel like, yes, this guy is really feeling our pain, and this guy he's feeling our pain, and also he can solve the problem. So in that way, they'll have this more trust in me. They'll see me as an authority, but not just that I can do design. My design is good. I've done this and done that. But you have to also let them see the result and let them feel that. Let them feel that, yes, you understand their pain points. And if you understand their pain point, then they'll see you are the best person that can give a solution to their products or services.
All
So
right,
that's one
beautiful.
of the
Thank you.
things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So while Mr. Olamiji is getting prepared to share his screen, you also need to understand that as creative professionals, we solve the following problem, which is very important. We solve either what a communication problem or a marketing problem. Are you getting me now? Our responsibility is to solve what's either a creative, a communication problem in the business or a marketing problem. Now, if you're a tech professional, obviously you solve other things, whether operations, whether sales, based on the product and service you are rendering. So when a client reaches out to you, ensure that what you give them so much peace of mind that when they engage with your company, you will be able to solve their communication problem on that brief or their marketing problem on that brief. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Do you understand? So thank you so much once again, everybody, for joining. Now, the YouTube video for last week's class and this week's class is going to be uploaded. We had some technical issues uploading the last week's class YouTube video, but I want to assure you that as I speak right now, it's ready and we're going to be uploading on YouTube, and by tomorrow on our various platforms, on Telegram, on WhatsApp, and also on Ace Creative Connect. We're going to be sharing before evening tomorrow, Sunday. We're going to be sharing all the various YouTube handles, Mr. Olamiji's YouTube handle, where you can watch all this session. The passion and the belief that we have is that when you spend 5-6 sessions, are you getting that with Pixel Pulse, you will be able to grow as a creative professional. Mr. Olamiji, are you ready for us? Have you shared your screen?
I'm ready. Yeah. No, not yet.
All right, okay. So, Mr. Olamiji, over to you. Thank you once again. Let me just appreciate everybody that have joined. Mr. Peter, thank you so much for joining. Favor, thank you so much for joining. Oluwatimise Oladimeji, it's great to have you here. We cannot do this without you. So, Mr. Olamiji, like I said, it's 100% practical. We just finished with the first session, which is conversational, right? Which is very important and sacrosanct. We're now moving to the practical session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Demola. So for those that are in the class last week, we are working on a particular campaign design, as you can see here. So we did the first, direction yesterday and last week, which was this. So we want to move on to the second direction, which we have here, which has been sketched out already. Don't mind my sketch, please. This is not really how it ought to be, but this is just to give you the way. And this second direction was gotten from this concept. So we'll be trying out this concept today using images that we've used already. So we'll be trying out this concept. We'll be adding 1 or 2 images to it. So we'll be trying out this particular concept, and now we can get this feel behind the the lady. So the major thing about this campaign is to show the Gen Z, how they can enjoy their life now and still enjoy their life later. So we are trying to paint that picture. So as you can see here, according to my idea that I have here. This is a small girl, and also what's it called? An older lady. So you are going to this idea really was it correlates with the idea I have in mind, showing the Gen Z trying to what's it called? Show how excited she is, how she's enjoying her lifestyle now. And also this also give an example of what she's doing in the future. And also I'll be adding some images around here also that will give that feeling of whatever she was doing in her future. So we are going to start with that now. So I'm going to start, I'm going to open my free pick. So I'm going to show you the images I'll be using. So first of all, is to first pick the image of the what's it called of the main subject first. So I will just type in young youths. And at the back I can put Gen Z. So yeah. So I'm going to pick a particular image of someone that fits into that what's it called that space. So this time around I'll be using a guy instead of a female. So let me use AI. Yeah, I think this will work. So I have to look for something closer to this. So I can work with this, yes. So now let's look for older men, happy old man, isolated. So the reason I'm putting isolated is that it's going to give me, what's it called? Just one person with an isolated background, not a busy background. So that is the reason I'm putting isolated behind it, as you can see. So I'm using this man, yes. But I want the position when he's smiling, he's not giving that, what's it called? So I'm going to put happy, I'm going to put side view. This is where I do my, what's it called? This is where I do my research and what's it called? Keywords when I'm searching on Freepik. Side view. As you can see, the images I have now are close to what's it called? Side view. So I need a black man. Yeah. Okay, yes, this works better. So I'm going to save this also. So now the next thing to do here is just to look for happy old couples. Let me just write happy couples. So I will just pick some random images. I'm going to pick this. And I'm going to pick one or three of these images. Yeah, let me pick this also. So, yeah, download this. Then in my selection, I'm going to put old couples so I can get the old ones. Yeah, I think this also works. Yeah. So, yeah. So now the next thing to do is to come to my Illustrator. Now, sorry. Basically, the color code we are using is still this. This is the color code we are still using. So we have to blend in this into what's it called? Our design. So we move to Photoshop now, and I'm going to place my images. So yes, I download. So all I'm going to do here is just to be dragging them inside. So I'm going to be dragging them inside. So majorly the ones I need more often is the man, this guy here. So let me bring it in, let me bring him in. So, yeah, the next thing to do is to close this. And let me bring him in. So I'll be cutting the background of this guy here. So the next thing I will do now is to come to my select subjects and click. So that will select each what's it called. Yes, so I've gotten what's it called the selection right. So I'll come to my selects and I'll come to my modify contracts. I'm going to use 2 because the image is a bit sharp. I'll zoom in to check if I've not cut part of his face away. So I think I have it right here. So I'm going to just click. So this is done. So I'm going to put in, I can just convert this to a smart object, Control J to copy it. So in case there is a further mistake. So I'm going to do this and just what's it called, convert into a smart object. So I'm going to copy and bring, sorry, and bring here. So I will just reduce, bring him to the side like this. So the next thing to do is the man, the old man. So I'm going to bring him also in. Let me close this. Let me close this. Yeah. So I'm going to bring him in. Edit. So the reason why I pick isolated images is because it is easier to cut out. It is always easier to cut out. More reason why I used to pick isolated images. So I'm going to pick this also. Click on it. Photoshop will do the selection. So I'll wait for Photoshop to work on the selection. So so yeah. So I'm going to pick my yes. Oh, sorry, I spot out. So I need to also, but that's why I need to check your selection properly. So I'm going to select, use my lasso tool, yes, to click, select that part. I still come back to my select, modify, contract. I'll use 2. Okay. Then the next thing to do is just what's it called? Click on this. That is selected. Control J to duplicate. And I'm going to what's it called? Oh, so I'm going to bring this. Come and see. I can just copy it.
Hello, thank you so very much for joining once again. I think Mr. Olamiji is having a technical issue, basically with his video. So we're just going to wait for him to join back. Mr. Olamiji, are you back? We lost you a bit.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're back. We lost your feed a bit.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right.
Well, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can now.
Okay. Sorry, I'm coming. So, yeah, I need to jump back to Photoshop. So I'm going to just, yeah. So now I've placed the two images, as you can see. I'm going to reduce this man a bit. Yeah. I'm going to reduce him a bit like this. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to bring in my color scheme that we've been using. So I'll be bringing in the color scheme, which is here, as we have it here. So Command C, then come to my Photoshop, Command V. So I'm going to use Smart Objects. So I'll increase my size, just take it to the side like this. Yeah. So now, what I'll be using as my major background here, I want to try out whether I'll be using blue or I'll be using orange. Either of the two will work. So I'm going to select this. This should go, yes. This blends better. So now I want to get the effect, the artistic effect that is on my subject face. I want to create that effect on this man's face. So the first thing I'll first do is to hide this my lovely guy. Then this man here, hide my color scheme. Delete this red that I have here. So now, don't forget to group your. So I'm going to group this and put it as PG like that. So I'm going to lock it. So now the next thing to do here is to get that effect. And how do I work on the effect? The first thing I'm going to do here is to first use my oil paint effect on the man's face. So I'm going to come to my filter. I'll come to stylize and I'll go to oil paint. So I go to reduce my size so I can get the face. I can zoom in again. So I'm going to go with this. Yes. I think I prefer this effect now. You can see this is what we had before. So what we have now. So the face has been, what's it called, smoothing. So another effect I'm going to use here now, I'm going to use here is the levels. So I can just press Ctrl L to get the levels. Let's increase. Yeah, I think I like it like this. So yeah. So the next thing I'll be doing again here now is to bring. I'm going to duplicate my oil paint effects. Take it up. I'm going to duplicate it and take it up. So that will be much on the man's face. So the next effects that will be used on his face, when you come to filter, I'm going to come to sharpen. I'm going to come to Sharpen Mask. My radius can be around 1 or 2. Sorry. Then zoom in so I can see it. I'm going to increase that. Amount around 40 is okay. So take this off. Yes. So I'm going to leave this like this now. I'm going to just hide this. And the next thing I will do is to create my, bring in my hue and saturation. I'll keep it inside, take it to 0. That's the saturation. Keep it like this. Now again, come up, pick my levels adjustments. Sorry, that should be power clip inside like this. So yeah, I want to get the lighter and the darker part properly. So increase the levels. White parts, yes, I think this is okay like this. So now the next thing I'm going to do here again is come to posterize. So I'm going to come to posterize. Where is it? Yes. So now, I'll be picking 4. The reason why I'm picking 4 is that I want to select 4 color shades. I can use 3 also. If I pick 3 here, what happens is that it gives me 3 shades of. So now I think I'm going to use 3. I have the white, the gray, and the black. That's for posterize. If I'm to use what's it called 4, you will see that it's going to change. So it's going to give me the white, the lighter gray, the darker gray, and black. So I'm going to use 3. I just want the 3 colors. So I'm going to come back to my posterize and literally just use 3. So now, for me to get that effect properly, I'm still going to come to my effect, click on my, I'll come to my filter, I'll come to my, what's it called, filter gallery here, and I'm going to pick, I'm going to come to artistic, and I'll pick poster edges. So I'm going to pick poster edges. I'm going to make sure this is more posterized, as you can see. A bit more posterized. I don't need the edge intensity, I don't need them. So I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to press OK. As you can see now, this is how I have here like this now. So the next thing I'm going to do here now is that I'm going to group everything together like this as one. So what I'm going to do here is that I want to change the color of this black and white into different colors. And how can I achieve that? I can do that in 2 ways. I can use color gradients, and I can use my selection method. So now I'm going to try out the 2 methods, and which one works. Color gradients, I said color gradients. Gradient map method is quite easier and faster. So what the reason why I said that is easier and faster is that I can just come up here, come to my gradient map, make sure it's power keep inside, like this. So now you can see that where I have my white color, so I'm going to put in, let's say, I'm going to bring this out because I'm going to bring this out because I'll need the color codes. I'll need the color code. So, yeah, my orange, let's select out. So I need the color code for my orange. So I'm going to copy all these color codes somewhere. So I'm going to create, let me just copy them here. So for my blue also, I'll need the color code. So I'm going to copy the color code out here like this. And for the yellow, I'm going to copy the color code here. Let me just paste it out. Yeah, so yeah, I can go back. So come back to my gradient map, select. So for these, I'll be using my orange for the lighter parts. Okay, so I'm going to come here and copy the color for my orange, which is this. Command C. I'm going to paste it here. As you can see, I have that blended in. So I'm going to create another shape here. So let's use yellow for this, which I don't feel work better. So I'm going to come here. So like this, I'm going to copy my yellow, which is the one that I have here, Command C. So I'm coming here, Command B. So that means our orange will be here, while our yellow will be here. So the next color to pick here is blue. So I'm going to pick my blue color, which is the one in the middle. Command C. Sorry. So I'm going to paste it here. So I'm not really getting that shape properly. So I'm going to use the darker shades of the blue, but not the lighter shade of the blue. Yeah, I can just use. So now I want my yellow to be a bit more. So most importantly, what I will do now is that for me to get this sign where I'm going to change my background color to the yellow. Yes. So come back to my green map. Down. So I'm still going to work with the yellow. So let me see now. So this is not working for me 100%. So but this is how you use gradient map. So I'm going to use the other method. So I'm going to hide this. So the next thing I will do here now is to come. Let me just delete this gradient map. Select. Select the man image here that I have here. Hold your control key and select it like that. Zoom in. After you made your selection, come to select, come to color range, and pick the color that you want. I'm going to pick the white first. So let me make the white more prominent, more on this. I'm going to work on my levels. So I'm going to work on my levels. So the yellow can show properly. I'm going to work on my levels. So yes. Yeah. So now I'm going to select. The selection has been done. Come to color range. Pick white. That's what I want to select out of the design. So the white have been selected like that. So just right click. Make sure you're picking either your lasso tool. Right click. So yeah, right click and pick work with work path, make work path. So you're going to select the work path around my image like this. So now the next thing I'm going to do here is to pick and give it a color. So literally to give it that color white. And it's now what's it called? You can see it's now a shape. If I hide this, I have color white like this now. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to hide. I'm going to name this yellow. Let's just do it like that. So now the next thing I'm going to do again is to do that selection again. Pick the selection. So after you pick the selection, come to your select ending again and pick the gray. I want the gray color. So after I've selected the gray color, the same method, make work path. 0.5 should be your tolerance. I'm going to select that for me. So that has been selected. Then I come here, pick this. Now the gray color itself has been selected. So you want to take this away, pick my white. So So as you can see, what I have here already. So I'm just trying to recreate that into different colors. So now the next thing to do here now is to pick the black. So another way again, select, just replicate that method. Come to your select, come to color range. After then, select your black. So that has been selected. Right click and make that your what's it called? Your work path. 0.5 should be your tolerance again. So the reason why I'm making my tolerance 0.5 is that it gives me what's it called? A closer edges as the way the images is. Because if I make it 2, it will be more curved or more smooth. I don't want it to be like that. So that is why I made it 0.5. So I'm going to make this solid color. I don't need to change, it's black already. So let me take this back like this. So if I hide this and I put on these that I have before, where is the yellow? You can see that I have something that is close to, sorry, zoom in. I have something that is close to what I have earlier, but I still have some yellow parts showing. So I'm going to come and see. So I just need to cover that part. So I can cover with black later. I can do that later. But I've achieved what I want to achieve here, like this. So the next thing to do is now to start the coloring. So now all these that you're seeing here are now shape layers. Like these, the way I had them like this also, I can take them to Illustrator and still change their color if I want to. So yeah, right, I can do it and I can start changing the color to the color I prefer. So let me on my, so now, so which one is this? This is the black. So let me pick that. Let me see which color goes better for it. If I pick the blue, so the color will change. So let me just come to mine and reduce it a bit. So let's pick it like this. Then for this, let me use the orange. I pick the orange. As you can see now, as for the yellow that I said before, so I'm going to pick the yellow so and see how this works. Yeah. So I'm going to use a brighter orange, a yellow instead of this yellow. So I'm going to increase. Just come to my hue and increase the yellow bits. So the yellow is kind of blending with the man's, what's it called? Background. Yeah. So we'll adjust that later as we move forward. So now I'm going to bring this guy. I'm going to bring him to the side like this. So now the images that I have, let me hide my guy. So I'm going to select these 3 guys here. Hide them. So I can bring this down because I won't be needing it now. Sorry. So yeah. So the next thing to do here, all the images that I need, I'm going to bring them in. So let me just add this guy here. So I'm going to bring in those images now. So for these, I'm going to place them. I'm going to place it on the, yeah, sorry. So I'm going to place this. It's under the BG already. So I'm going to bring it to the top of my BG. So let's just be like this. So I'm going to bring the other one. That's okay. So I'm going to bring the last image. So I think I'll need to take this up a bit. Yeah, take this up so that I can take in the last image. So I'm going to bring it down. So what is my image has to flow with the color that I'm using. So I need to probably work on my what's it called on my core. So I'm going to bring. Let me take this up a bit. Yes, I can also take this up. So I'm going to select everything now together like that. So Command G. Sorry, meet me. All is wrong.
All right, Mr. Rebel, your screen has freezed a bit.
Yeah, I feel so. So I really don't know what's going on. I'm going to check it out now.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
All right, so while we're waiting for Mr. Rebel to, I call him Rebels because the name of his design studio is Rebel, so but his name is Olamiji Bello. Please, if you are on this call, for those watching on YouTube, because it is a live session, let's try as much as possible. If you have any questions to drop, let's drop it on the comment section in this live session. For those that are going to be watching this session on YouTube, please try as much as possible to also drop whatever question you have on YouTube. I want to assure you that Mr. Olamiji himself is going to be responding to your various questions in the comment section. Now, for those that are in this live session, let's try as much as possible to also drop our comments in the comment section so that we can address the various touching points or whatever questions you have with regards to the design also, and he will address it, and myself would also address it. This is a 2-hour session, and we'll do everything in our capacity to ensure that we meet your design need, and you'll be happy to scale up from one level you are in design to the other. All right. So Mr. Olamiji is trying to set up his whole connection once again, and then once he does that, we're going to be getting back to the training. So I believe that we've all had an amazing time in these sessions. You've seen him touch various tools like gradient mapping and other technical tools that are very important as a creative professional. The software we're using right now is Photoshop, and you saw how he was able to move from the process of what ideation to what execution. Now, while we wait for him to join back, I'd like to talk about the fact that as a creative professional, how can you improve what's your image bank? Now, before Though for those that are joining in the later session, I talked about how you can always win in negotiation with your clients. I spoke about various touch points when negotiating or trying to get a brief with a client, things you can do to always have 80% results in always getting jobs from your clients when they're negotiating with you. But today, I'm going to be talking about what how do you improve with your image back. Now, creative professional come to meet me most times, or they discuss in the community that Mr. Demola, how do I get creative? How can I improve my creativity? How do I get these ideas? Mr. Olamiji is designing right now. You can see the amazing thing he's doing. It's not all about the tools, it's all about what? Your inspiration. So, how do you get ideas? A lot of people ask. Now, I believe that what there's something called inspiration bank or idea bank or what I call image bank. And I got this from one of the softwares we used over 10 years ago called Image Bank. Before the internet became popular, we had a software called Image Bank where images were stored. And when you have this software, you have access to images. But now we have a lot of websites doing that. So, as a creative professional, you need to understand that what you cannot design what you've not seen. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Now, I understand that there's a place that when you're given a particular brief, you have to what do research concerning that brief, which was what some of the things we discussed in our last session last week. But you also need to what daily what improve what your inspiration banks. What do you see? What movies do you watch? What design trainings like this do you attend? In your spare times, do you go through various softwares? That's why you saw various websites like Behance. Do you go through websites like Pinterest? Or you go through websites like AdWords to see what other advertising agencies are doing? It's not only when you get a brief, you now start sitting down to start looking for inspiration. You need to create what we call a working culture of always being in constant environment of creativity. Attend design workshops, follow top leading designers in the global space, and that's where social media helps. So that when they post their latest works, you'll be able to see things. Study what we call what various design trends. Do you know that every year there's always a change in the design trends in the global space that is being adopted in the creative industry? For now, the design trend that is trending right now is retro. For those of you that don't know, retro is now what the design trend that is trending. This was not the case last year, neither was it the case 2 years ago. But if you don't do research or follow global leading designers, or you're not intentional, and you getting in getting inspiration, you will not know all these things. So in your spare time, when you're less busy or you're not executing any brief, when you're on Instagram, what are the things that pop up in your page? When you follow more designers or more design handles, you'll see what's more what's inspiration on Instagram, on Facebook, even on Twitter. Join various design communities like us so that when top leading designers post their work, you can pick it up to get what various inspiration. You need to improve the image bank of your mind to always execute exceptional work. When you see crappy designs, you would always produce crappy designs. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So it's very important and sacrosanct that this becomes your working culture. Are you getting me now? It should be your working culture. Now, what I mean by working culture, something that you do sporadically, periodically, should be a habit whereby what you constantly always want to develop what yourself by improving your image back. Then you can do other things, for example, like play video games. If you're not a video game person, watch movies. There's something that happens when you watch movies that helps what the imaginative parts of what your mind, of your brains, that explores the limitless possibilities. When you see other creators craft their works through imagery, it helps you too as a person. Then also nature. I always tell people that the greatest designer in the world is our creator. Do you understand? You see what we call the use of perfect color combinations in nature. That's why it's very important that you do this. Look at nature. When I'm walking on the streets, are you getting me now? During rain, dry season, winter or autumn, depending on which part of the world I am. I literally look at the landscapes of trees and I see how nature blends various color palettes. And you'll be amused that when you see the way color palette is being blended by nature, you can juxtapose those creativities even into your design works. You can get inspiration from nature. So go hiking, travel around the world, hang out with friends. All these things help to what detox your mind when you're saturated with creative blocks. Do you understand? Especially when you spend time over time grinding. I do you understand me now? Now, beyond that, to take it a notch further, you can visit what creative workshops, art galleries. That's one thing I've been doing in recent times. I've been a lover of art galleries. Why? Because when I see how other creative professionals in Nigeria, we have Naked Art Gallery. If you've not been there before, please do. As a designer, when you see art, there's a different dimension that you see. You see how the client, how the artist mixed various color palettes. You will see how he was able to what use the stroke of his or her brush to be able to come out with what we call what, a perfect chaos that brings about beauty in what art and creativity. So now art might not be a thing for you, it might be sculpture, but whatever expression of art that helps your creative bank would always what help you. So be a lover of life, be a lover of nature, be a lover of art. As designers, we belong into what we call the digital space of design. But you need to know that in our industry, in our ecosystem, there are other expressions beyond the digital space, which is the physical space. In fact, half of what we do on our computers in the digital space stems from principles from the physical arts in the creative space, in the physical space. So going to art galleries would help you. I remember recently I went to the art gallery in the city in which I was, and I saw the mixed various colors of blues that I've never seen before in any designs. So please always ensure that what you are intentional in what growing the image bank of your mind and creativity. And this can only be done by seeing things. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? You cannot be more creative than what you've not seen. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? There is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing I want to create that has not been created. What we do as creative professionals is that we actually spend more time what innovating. So ensure that once you do that, improve the image bank of your mind. It should be something that you do consciously or unconsciously. You understand? Then travel. Travel is very, very important. It's not all about working, or grinding. Go to various cities, go to various towns, go to other parts of the world. Beautiful cities like Dubai, London, UK, US. Try to save time to explore those cities just to see why. Because when you explore those other cities, you see how other creative professionals execute designs that you might not be able to see. And the digital space has made it easy. So meaning you can literally sit in the comfort of your home and experience other cities, not necessarily having visited those cities. Now, all these things are important for you. You are a creative professional. It is what you do for a living. So you need to invest time in your mind. Why? Because everything that we do is from the imagination, it's from our imagination. And the seat center in our body, where our imagination is seated upon, is located what? In our mind. The quality of your mind will determine the quality of your design. And the quality of your mind is being created by what the quality of what you see. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So these are things that will help you. Are you getting me now? I always tell people that have you ever noticed that as a designer, when you know where you are going to, you design faster. And I'll explain to you what I mean. Has this ever happened to you before? That you spend more time thinking about what you want to design, create, but once you have it, you design lesser. For example, a client gives you a particular briefs, and you realize that you spend over 2 hours doing research on what to design. But once you know what you want to create, using various tools, you do it in less than 20 minutes. Has that happened to you before? Are you getting me now? So now imagine what happens if you have what a very vast mind. You don't need to be spending much time researching. When the client is executing the briefs for you, in your mind, because you have a quality mind, are you listening to me? As the client, and this has happened to me a lot, because I practice this. So most times when clients are dictating the nature of the brief, I already know the direction that I'm going to go with the design. Are you getting that? It's even as bad as sometimes for a particular brief, I always give the client one option. And when I send that option to the client says, Demola, this is it. And the reason why I do that sometimes is that while they were executing the brief, because I spent time improving the quality of my mind, as they are saying it, just the same way when you meet a particular doctor and you're talking with the doctor, when you're telling the doctor your problem, I have stomach pain, I have headache. The doctor is empathizing with you to know what your pain is. But in his mind, he's already thinking, I'm going to give him 2 cc of injection. I'm not a doctor, sorry, so in case I quote the wrong thing, 2 paracetamol for 5 days, because he knows that when you inject this for you, this will be your solution. So the same thing with creative professionals. If you expand the image bank of your mind, when the client is saying that what we have a marketing for this, the demographic is this, we want to execute it on this. I saw this idea somewhere, this, as I dictating it in your mind. And I'm looking at X Factor. Are you getting what I'm right now? I'm looking at X Factor Nigerian Idol concept. As they're saying it, welcome back, sir. As they're saying it, you already have an inspiration of what it is already. Because what? We're not hearing you yet, Mr. Olamiji. You have to put on your mic. We're not hearing you yet. As he's saying those things, you realize that because you have a wide, and please watch.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Watch a lot of things. It's very important. Don't say because I have a particular religious affiliation. Do you get me? I don't watch things. You are in the marketing space. You need to watch things. You need to see things. I'm not saying that watch absurd things anyway, but things that would help with your creativities is very, very important. All right, Mr. Olamiji, can you share your screen while we go on? So I believe that we all
So yeah, actually, I had a glitch with my Photoshop. Yeah.
Pardon?
I had a glitch with my Photoshop. That was why.
Oh, you had an issue with your Photoshop?
Yeah. So I need to apologize for that.
No problem. We're learning a lot while you're out. I was just sharing some thoughts that as a creative professional, you need to increase your image, the image bank of your mind. Because when they see Mr. Olamiji creating these things, you cannot create what you've not seen. I know that one of the things that Mr. Olamiji does is that he goes through a lot of works. So do that. Just when you're less busy, go to Pinterest, type flyers, type billboards, go to Behance, see those things. Creativity is a broad spectrum of ideas and innovations, and no man is an island of his own. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So spend your time to improve what the image bank. I call it the image bank of the mind. It's very important. Your imagination sits in your mind, and the quality of your mind determines the quality of your design. So, Mr. Lamija, we're waiting for you to share your screen. Determines what the quality of what your designs. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So please, guys, see things, start seeing things from henceforth. So I remember back in the days before the internet, we go as far as buying magazines to what see things. All right, Mr. Lamichu, over to you.
Actually,
so please, if you've missed
the
level,
continue. This is the level it saved it up to. So I need to just start from there. So let me just.
For those that are just joining, they are lucky. Yeah.
So now what I'm going to do here, so I'm just going to go straight forward to the method that I'm using. So now I'm going to just hide my guy and work on this man. So the first thing I would do is to use my oil paint filter. So yes, I have the selection already made. Stylization can be 3.2, cleanness 2.5, then scale 3.5, then your ratio should be 1. So I'm going to click OK. So that is done. So the next thing that will be done here is to come to your filter gallery and use your what's it called. Let me make this a bit. Your poster edge. It is too much. Let's do 2. So I can zoom in to check. So I think this is okay. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do here, which I did not do before, is to come to my blur and I'll pick surface blur. So let me increase the thing. Yeah, I'll make it not too much. I won't blur the surface too much. So I'm going to make it around 10. So my threshold can be 15 at this, so I'm going to press OK. So the next thing I'm going to do again here is to duplicate my oil paint filter. So I'm going to bring it up. So as you can see. So now what I'm going to do is to hide this. So the adjustment layer that we use at the top, which are number one, hue and saturation. So I'm going to reduce my hue and saturation like this. So make sure it's power clip inside this alone. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use my curve adjustment layer, power clip it, and just like this. Yes. So the next thing I'm going to do here now is to come to my poster and posterize. Yeah. So now I'm picking form, I'm picking three, so I can blend in my blue inside very well. So I'll be using 4. So I have it like this. So now what I'm going to do now is to pick this like this and duplicate. Sorry, and go. So now the next thing I'm going to do, what I did earlier, is the first thing is to select my image. Select my image. So come to filter, sorry, select color range and pick the first color, which is white. So after picking that, you can just click on W, right click, make work path, make sure it's 0.5. So click on your adjustment layer, click on solid color, and the white is already filled up itself already. So as you can see here. So yeah. The next thing again to do is to pick the gray, the second gray, the lighter gray. So just open this down like this. Select, put your control key or command key. Select color range. What I did not say earlier, make sure your fuzziness is 0 so that you don't have other selection by the side. So I'm going to click on this alone. So it selects the exact color that you want to select. So I'm going to W, right click, make work path after your selection. Make sure it was called 0.5 at the top of what you have earlier. Select. You don't need to change the color yet. Just leave it like that. We're on this. All this. You can see I have the blue and green. So the next thing to do again is to just select. So we are going to do this 2 times again. Color range. Pick the darker one. Select. Then you go. Pick. Yeah. Let me see which one works better. Sorry, not that. W. Create your work paths. Make sure it's 0.5. 0. Come here. Select your color. The color is already pasted. So the last part. Now, click on your command key. Select your objects. The subject, sorry. Come to select color range. Select your color, which is the black. Create work paths. So what creating work path does is that it helps in making a what's it called a vector selection of your what's it called of your image. So I'm going to just click that. So in other ways, I can now this. Let me hide this now. This is no more a vector image. Sorry, this is no more a raster image. It's now vectorized. Now this is now called shapes. So I can now change them into the colors that I want. So now we are going to start changing them. So the first one I'm going to do here. So is this. So
now just to chip in, raster image is also the same thing as what is no longer a it's no longer a bitmap. Raster and
yes,
bitmap are the
yeah,
same.
it's not my
Just
bitmap.
to
Yeah.
chip that in. For those that don't know what raster is, it's
So
no
I'm
longer
going to change
bitmap,
this
it's now vector.
vector. So I'm going to change this back to blue. So and this to a darker shade of the blue. So we are going to look for what works better when it comes to my color selection. So which one works better? Is it anyone that blends much better that I'm going to work with? So let me see. So let me change the color of my background to orange. Then I make this. Let me see. So I make this blue or orange. Yes. So I make one. Let me see. So I'm just going to test and see how it blends better before we continue. Yes. So if I make this, let me go back. That's not really working for me. Yeah, I think this work. So the blue is a bit confusing. So I'm going to make this orange or a bit lighter orange. Look up to my hue and just take it up a bit. So I'm going to use that for this. I'm going to select this. This. So I'm going to select this for this. So I'm going to select this for this. Yeah. So now I can a bit increase my yellow, a bit like that. Yes. Then I can also increase this here, reduce this here to get this part a bit like this. So this blue, let me just take it inside like this. Yeah. So I'm going to group this like this together, and I'll bring back this guy at the other here. So what I used to do sometimes, so that not to for what occurred before not to occur, I'm going to save this. I'm going to duplicate it first. I'll bring it down. If I know I'm cool with it, I'll hide it. Then this that I have, I'm going to convert it to smart objects. So after it's been converted to smart objects, so what I'm just going to do here is to come to my filter, use my oil paint on it. So I want it to be smooth. So I'll just press OK like that. So this is here like this. So bring on the guy. So now let me bring in the images that we want to use. So come back to my download. I'll start bringing in the images. I'm going to bring this in. Reduce. Let it be at the middle. So I'm taking it under. So it doesn't know what I'm selecting. So I'm going to take this under like this. Just take it to the side like this. So for this, you can see that as I'm dragging, I'm seeing the selection underneath. So what I just need to do is to off this my guy, bring back. That's why I don't delete most of my work because I might still need them. So the next thing to do here is to select again. Now, in this selection, all I'm just going to do is to I don't need to use color range in this. Just what's it called? Right click, make work paths. Press OK. After that, I'll just make use of the color of what I have. Either let me use the blue or I have this yellow. But I think I will make use of the blue so it can give me that effect properly. So, and for this, where is the color field? Take it into, sorry, take it into it like this. Yeah. So Control Command J. I can delete this guy. Or what is want to get again and take it down. So you can see that the selection, you can't see it underneath anymore. So I'm going to change this, my open filter that I used before. So it's still the same thing. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this here like this. So bring in the other ones. This. So take this up. Reduce. Bring it to the side. A bit bigger. Adjust it from the angle. Take it down. Yes. So the last one is, I think that this is the yes. So I'm going to bring it down, select reduce from the angle. So I feel yeah, we are okay like this. So I'll just select these two guys, shift them to the side. So I can increase the head of the old man. It just cuts out immediately. So what I'm going to do here now is to make sure these images blend with the background that I have here and also fill in the colors that I have. So I'm going to group them together like that. So how can I do this? I can use either two methods. Number one, I can try hue and saturation, power clip it, colorize, and give it the yellow hue, increase the what's it called, and just make sure the yellow blends. But I'm not getting the orange and the blue hue that I want. So I'll just do this like this first. Keep it. Then I'll come to gradient map. Power clip it like that. So I'm just going to try. You know I have my color saved down already. So I can just pick. So which one goes better? So the white part should be the yellow. So let's see which one is the yellow. So this is the orange. So I want the yellow first. So I think the yellow is the one that is down here. So I'm going to copy it. So I want the blue. So I'm going to copy that. So I'm pasting my color codes there. Copy that. So but I want is a darker shade of blue or not is a shade of blue. So the next one to put in is my orange. So I'm going to my orange. So I have it like this. If I want my yellow to show more, yeah. So as you can see that this is blending, these images are blending with. So I'm going to just pick the selection and pick this and group them. So I can just Command T, and I don't want this part to be what's it called. I want them to fit in like that. So I can just yes. So this one is a bit. Let me take this under. Yeah. So this goes up a bit like this. Yes. So it looks like it's blending with what's it called with the background. So that's the method I use. If I'm to take this down a bit, so just take this off once. It's not working, so I'm going to move it so you can see what we have here like this. So we are heading somewhere. Sademal, are you with me? Okay. So the next thing to do here now is to blend this guy a bit with the background. So I'm going to use, what's it called? So I'm going to use um, color balance. I'll keep it on the guy. Yellow for the mid-tone and the red for the yellow to be a bit much. So the guy doesn't lose the color here. So and for the what's it called? For the shadow, let me try and use the blue. So that will work. The yellow and the red. I think it's okay like this. But I'll make sure this one is only affecting the color. So if you see, you might not see the effect like that. But this is it. You might not see it like that, but it's showing. So now the next thing to do here, let me work on the highlight. Sorry. I'll work on the highlight. Red, yellow. Oh, sorry. Color, yes. I went to pick luminosity. So yeah. So what I want to do here is to brighten these parts that we have here. So, so I'm going to select this and use either my level adjustment layer on it. Just like this. So the same level adjustment layer I'm going to copy to this guy like this, and I'm going to back it. I feel it's a bit more darker, so I need to work on that a bit. So yeah, so for my blue, I'm not getting the same feel of blue with what I have here. This. So I have to work on the blue. I'm getting the same feel. So now, the next thing is to just put some light effects. Let me take this up. So I'm going to group this. This is my subjects. Now this is the old man. Now, these are the people who are here. So what I'm going to do next is to just put some light effects. Then I'll put my background, I'll put my text on it. So I'm going to create that effect now. So it will be in the middle of this man and this guy here. So I'm going to create that. I'll pick my yellow, use my brush. So make sure my flow is reduced and my opacity also is reduced. So I'm just going to place that like that. So I'm going to try my color range and see which one works perfectly. Okay. So I'm just going to now create it first. And then I'll put it by the side. Not too much like this. Like that. So and on my guy at the top of him, just going to do a soft light on him of the same color, just pick it, put it like that, and use soft light on it like that. You can see. So yellow can just blend in properly. Let me hide that and just shift this to the side a bit like this. So bring that in like that. So what I'm just going to do is to select everything like this and just shift it to the side. Because I'll be adding some. So now I'll be adding some African patterns to my design. So I'm going to come to my, sorry, let me stop sharing. So you guys can stop seeing my screen. So what I'm going to do now is to add some African feel to the, what's it called, to the design. So just to connect with the African culture. So I'm going to add some African feel to it. So that's what I'll be doing as I'll be sharing my screen again. Sademal, are you with me? So share my screen again. So yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to come to my free pick. So I just type in African pattern. So I'm just going to look for, I think this one works better. Yes, this works better. So all I'm just going to do is to download it and I'm going to work on it. So I'm waiting for it to select. So I'm going to download. So there are some times whereby the color that you want, let's say the pattern you want, is not really blending. The pattern you want is not really blending. Let's say we have this. And this, I'm going to show you. We have this, and this itself cannot really blend with the background, and I want it to blend. So how do I do that? So it's just with the magic of hue and saturation. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to come to my BG. So for what I've downloaded, I will come. So African pattern. Let me first use the ones I want to use. So take it down and just blend in like this. The pattern. So I can't use the pattern like this. So what I can just do here, if I want to, I can just I'll use overlay or soft light and reduce like that. It works. So if what's it called, what you have sometimes doesn't blend with your what's it called, doesn't blend with your background, and you have another color, just like this, and you want it to blend. So let me just give you that example. You have something like this, and let me turn it, rotate, and you really want it to blend with your background. So how do you do that? All you just need to do is Control U, which is a U and adjustment layer, or Command U, colorize it. Make sure the color field you have blends with the background that you have. So make it blend with your what's it called. You can reduce it so that you see it properly. So which one blends? I feel this one it blends with it. So I'll leave it like that. Then I can now come to my overlay and this. So the color blends. So it will you first desaturate it. What's it called does? What the colorize does is to desaturate to one monochrome field. So that was what you can do when you have a different color. So before you start using your color mode. So I'm going to bring this in back and just use, because this, I'm not trying to use that method on these, or because the color I have here blends with the color of my background. So I'm going to just use soft light and reduce the field. Yeah. So now I have this. So I can literally duplicate this, Command J, and bring it to the top of these guys here. Just drag it to their head like this, and reduce the field totally. The opacity, sorry. I just want the pattern to also be on them, like that. Let me reduce the. Let me just take it to the side here, like this. What I'm going to do here now is to bring in my text. So the text that we have earlier, that's what we're still using. So I'll come to mine and just bring in our text, which is this. On group. So let me just select this. Let me just select my text. If you are in the former class, I put it through how we use what's it called, this text. Sorry, that's not selected yet. I'm going to select this, select this, select this, and this is selected. So I'm going to bring it here. So I'm going to reduce this fill a bit. It's too much to reduce the opacity. So I'm going to just paste it. But before I paste, my group looks a bit distorted. So let me just put this thing, people. Then this one is man. And this one, I'll hide it also. Just select. And the next thing to do here, just write subject. So I'm going to paste my text. I'll make sure it's shape. So I'm going to bring it here like this. I'm going to change the color to white. Yeah. So I'm going to put it on top of him like this. Do I have it like this? I'm going to put it on top of it. So now, we'll be using our former blue that we did not use before. So this. Let me bring in my. So now I'm going to be using this blue now to put in my let me draw my subtext. So just select twice and click on the blue. So we can hide my vector layer. So I'm going to. So the subtext we used there was plan the font now. So I'm going to just pick this. So I'll write it out. Plan the font now. So I'm going to just reduce the leading like that and increase it. So the font I'll be using is Ezra. And the reason why I'm using Ezra because it's a bit funny, bold, and wide. And I think in my course of designing, I love bold and wide fonts. When it comes to doing font design, I like it to be bold. It just occupies the space, and it's also easier to see. So I'm going to change the color to white. So I'm going to change the color to white. Yeah. So I'm going to just increase this a bit, holding my shift key and doing this also like this. But I'll make it a bit rounded edges. So yeah. What I'm just going to do here is to select everything like this. So Ctrl J them, duplicate. The one I duplicated, I'm going to bring it down. Because later in the future, I might send it to the client and they will say, we don't want it to be skewed. So I don't want to go back and start retyping. So I need to save it down. So yeah, what I'm just going to do is Command T and just skew it a bit. So as a designer, you know you're not designing for yourself. You're designing for your client. So you just have to put them into consideration when designing also. So I'll just put it down like this. But I really want this white to show a bit. So I just want to let it pop out a bit, the white. So what I'm going to do is come to my blending mode, which I can, sorry. So I'm going to come to my blending mode, blending option, just pick this stroke, increase my stroke, and make make sure. Let me pick not this, but it's inside. I want it to be outside, not inside. Yeah. So yeah. So it's going to be blend with the blue hue here. But let me try orange and see which one works better. So I think I'm going to go with blue. I'm going to go with blue. So I want the, and you can leave it plain if you feel like this is not working for you. So because I also want my fonts to give that impression when you see it. So I'm going to just bring it here like this. Yeah, like this. So I have this. So now the next thing to do here, I just want, let me reduce this light thing. Sorry. This light I have on is my subject. Let me just reduce the fill a bit. Yeah, like that. So the next thing we're going to do here now, I can delete my vector. So Command Shift Alt E. Make sure it's power clip. Sorry, convert to smart object. And the next thing we are going to do here now is to come to camera raw filter. So what am I going to do here in my camera raw filter is to increase my contrast a bit, reduce my shadow. I want it to be brighter or a bit. My white should be increased, but the black should go in. I want the dark part to show. So for my color, I'll just increase the vibrance. So I feel this part is a bit too colorful. So I'll reduce the vibrance a bit. So let my black come out a bit also, not too much. My light should be increased. So it should be 0.5. Then I'll come to my texture. My clarity. So I'm going to do that. So let me just, now, my sharpness, I can just give it a bit of sharpening like this. Yes, that's okay. So now we have it already here now. But there's one thing I'm feeling that the color of my guy here is not really blending with this. So how can I work on that so that it gets better? So I'll come back. Let me hide this first. So this man here. So what I'll just do here, let me pick this color. With my brush and just select. I need the color code. Okay, there's a layer on top of it, so let me just what's it called? Take away the layer first. And pick. I need the color code. Complete. Bring it back. Equal. And so now I'm going to click on this one. Come down here. I can double click. You know I have it already here. So I can just put this one and fill it with it like that. And this like that. So I want to basically add the same. I'll save it. Go back. Sorry. So you can see we're having almost the same feel of color there now. So the color is so add the light. So I can just use this. Let me make it a screen light. Okay, like this. So this and this lens. Let me take this. Where's the light on his face? Okay. So it feels like this light here is reflecting to his face. So I'll make it screen like that. So all I just have to do here, click on my Ctrl Shift Alt E back again, make it a what's it called, a smart object. So I don't need to go back and do my what's it called, go back and do my camera roll. So I'm going to just click, hold my alt key and just drag it to it like this. Sorry. Hold my alt key and just drag it inside. So that also filled with it like that. So coming here, I'll reduce my camera raw percentage instead of my camera raw to around 80. Yeah, I'll press OK. And I'll press Command Shift T. So this I'm going to duplicate, sorry, group them, delete this guy, we don't need anymore. I'm going to name this raw. So I can hide this also under. So I'm going to select this guy and just write PG. So that's my background. So as you can see, we are done. And I can send this out to the client to see. So that is it on this class today. But as you can see, now you can see that the colors that I have here blends in with the color of the what's it called, of the brand. The orange, the yellow, and the red. Sorry, the blue. I was still able to what's it called, to combine them together in getting what's it called, in following the brand color. And also we have, based on my what's it called, my mood board, I was able to, Mr. Demola, you're back.
Oh yeah, I've been here all along.
Okay. I was able to what's it called? I was able to get different ideas in which I can use in explaining my direction. So this might work for the client. The other one might work for the client. So as a designer, I just have to go outside of your what's it called, what you think in your head, and see what has been done before. How you can use the idea in creating your own exceptional idea. So no man is an what's it called? How they say it? It's an island of knowledge. So and creativity is long lasting. It changes. It's dynamic. So you can't just feel like I have this idea in my head. Let me just try and do research, which will help you. It was with the help of research I was able to get this idea, and also practice. This was easier for me to do because I've been practicing on it thousands and thousands of times. So that's just it. So Mr. Demalai, all over to you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much for this amazing session. And as always, this is supposed to be a 2 hour training session. And I believe and I know that what we have learned so much. I personally have learned a lot. That's why most times I always have to turn off my screen so that I can always pay attention like a student in what the class. So thank you so much, Mr. Olamiji. And I believe that a lot of us have learned a lot. So give us between now and 7 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to be uploading both trainings on YouTube so that we can all practice. So please, our programs manager Wilma is on the call and she wants me to do this. Once you've practiced during the course of the week, let's try as much as possible to tag all our social media handles. I've put Mr. Olamiji's social media. So meaning if you post on Instagram, tag Mr. Olamiji, then tag Ace Creative Academy on Ace Creative Academy _NG. On Twitter, we are Ace Creative Academy NG. So just tag us so that we can share, just to see the process of your work. So we will not just be uploading on YouTube the courses. He would also be uploading a Google Drive link that would contain all the design assets. So the beauty is that once you have access to all the assets, so you don't have to be looking for the images, and then you'll be able to create your own version. So let's get our hands dirty and let's practice. Now, the beauty of following a creative expert like Mr. Olamiji is that if you notice that while he was designing, he is not as if he concluded everything he wanted to do before the class. You saw him say, okay, I'm going to use this font, I'm going to use this color. Why don't I try this? Why don't I try that? Well, let me apply this technique, let me apply that technique. That's what makes you a designer. The ability that on the spot, while you're designing, you know where you're going to, and trying as much as possible to rate the design to meet the end product of what your design. So thank you once again for this amazing session. Because we don't have any questions any longer, based on those that are attending our live session, we appreciate everybody for being here once again in Pixels Pulse. Let's ensure that what we join our community is Creative Connect. Why? Because we're going to be sharing the next edition next month for the month of May, where we're going to be having the bi-monthly events next. So please go on acecreativeconnect.com, which is the platform that is powering this. Post your works, collaborate with other creative and tech professionals, because Ace Creative Connect is the fastest growing creative community in creative and tech community in our ecosystem. So we all have a profile there. Let's drop our works, let's have conversations and collaborate with other creative and tech professionals. Mr. Olamiji, do you have any final words for everybody in this episode 2?
If there's a question.
All right. Your camera is off at the moment, sir.
Yeah, I really don't know.
All right. Okay, so in the absence of any questions, we're going to continue this conversation on the community, on our WhatsApp community. Let's continue the conversation there. Then if you have any other question for those that are watching via YouTube, drop it on the comment section. We will walk you through. That's why we are here, what's for you. This event is a 2-hour event, and we're trying as much as possible to keep to time to ensure that everybody enjoy a seamless experience in Pixels Pulse. So, Mr. Olamiji, any final words?
Yeah, as I've always said, keep on creating, keep on researching, and don't always feel like, I will always say, don't always feel like, yes, I'm the best, I'm getting here, I don't need to start thinking again. Creativity is dynamic. So what you do today, there's another version of it that has been done. So you have to keep on researching. So bank on research as a designer so that you can keep on creating wonderful stuff. That's what I was supposed to say.
All right, thank you very, very much. So see you on the next edition of Pixels Pulse. And like I always say, in every edition and every sessions that we have, keep acing it in all that you do. See you on the next one. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you very much.